The stars looked different from here. Captain Do-Yun Kim stood at the main window of the Earth ship Dauntless, staring at the unfamiliar stars. His hands were clasped behind his back. His face showed no emotion, but inside, his heart beat fast. This was the farthest any human had ever traveled from Earth. "Captain, sensors show 5 ships approaching," said Lieutenant Jiwoo Park. Her fingers moved quickly over the control panel. "They are not like anything we have seen before." Captain Kim nodded slowly. "Are they sending any messages?" "Yes, sir. But our computers cannot understand their language yet." The Dauntless was Earth's first and only ship that could travel between stars. Humans had built it as their last hope. Earth was dying. Too many wars, too much pollution. The Dauntless carried seeds, animal DNA, and 10,000 frozen human embryos. It carried the future of humanity. "All crew to battle stations," ordered Kim. "Not because we want to fight, but because we must be ready." Chief Engineer Minji Kang spoke, up from her station. "Captain, the ship's energy shields are at full power. Our weapons are ready, but I hope we don't need them." The alien ships came closer. They were strange to human eyes. They looked like giant silver leaves, thin and curved. They moved in perfect formation. "They're surrounding us," said Security Chief Tae-hyun Kang. His hand rested on his weapon. "I don't like this, sir." "Captain." Kim watched the alien ships with careful eyes. "We are visitors here. Let's not jump to conclusions." The largest alien ship sent another message. This time, the ship's AI translated it. "They say they are the Galactic Concordat," said Communications Officer Ji-hee Song. "They want us to power down our engines and prepare for inspection? The translation isn't perfect." "Tell them we come in peace," said Kim. "We are explorers from Earth." The response came quickly. The alien voice sounded flat through the translation system. "Unknown vessel, you have entered Concordat, space without permission. Your technology is not registered in our database. Power down and prepare for boarding." Captain Kim frowned. "Ji-hee, explain that we are refugees seeking new worlds to settle. We have no hostile intentions." Before Ji-hee could send the message, the alien ships moved closer. Energy readings spiked on the Dauntless's sensors. "They're activating weapons," shouted Tae-hyun. "Shields to maximum," ordered Kim. "But do not fire unless I command it." The first alien attack hit the Dauntless like a hammer. The ship shook. Lights flickered. "Shields holding at 80%, reported Minji. "Captain, their weapons are powerful, but our shields work against them." The alien ship seemed surprised. They paused their attack. "Sir," said Science Officer Yoon Jin-yoon, "I think they're confused. Our shield technology must be different from what they know." A new message came through. "Unknown vessel, your defensive capabilities are illegal in Concordat space. Surrender immediately or be destroyed." Captain Kim stood up straight. His eyes narrowed. "Illegal? How can our technology be illegal?" "The Concordat might control what technology other species can have," suggested Yoon Jin. "It's a way to keep power." Captain Kim made his decision. "Ji-hye, send this message. We will not surrender. Our ship. We have the right to defend ourselves. We ask for peaceful talks." The aliens responded with more weapons fire. "They hit our engine section," shouted Minji. "Shields at 60%. Captain Kim's voice was cold and clear. "Weapons Officer Hyunwoo, target their weapon systems only. Disable, don't destroy." Hyunwoo nodded. His hands moved over the controls. The Dauntless fired its quantum pulse cannons for the first time in real battle. The blue energy beams cut through space. When they hit the first alien ship, something unexpected happened. The alien shields flickered and failed completely. "Direct hit," said Hyunwoo, surprise in his voice. Their shields went down immediately. "All their ships are pulling back," said Jiwoo. "They didn't expect our weapons to be so effective." Captain Kim watched the alien ships retreat. "Why did our weapons work so well against them?" Yoon-jin studied her screen. "Their technology is different from ours. Very advanced, but it follows different rules. Our quantum pulses must disrupt their shield patterns." A new message came from the aliens. "Unknown vessel with forbidden technology." You have attacked Concordat ships. This is an act of war. All Concordat forces are now authorized to destroy your ship on sight. The bridge was silent. Every crew member looked at Captain Kim. We came looking for a new home, said Kim quietly. Instead, we found a war. Minji spoke up. Captain, we should run. We can't fight an entire galactic civilization. No, said Science Officer Yunjin. Running won't help, they'll chase us, and we need to understand why our technology is forbidden. That might be important. Captain Kim nodded. Yunjin is right. We need information. He turned to the navigation station. Plot a course deeper into their territory. We need to find someone who will talk to us instead of shooting. Sir? Jiwoo looked shocked. You want to go further into their space? Sometimes the safest place to hide is right under your enemies. Nose, said Kim. And we have one advantage. They don't understand our technology. Hyunwoo smiled for the first time. And we just proved our weapons work against their shields. Set course for that star system, ordered Kim, pointing to a bright, yellow star on the map. It has many planets we can hide and observe. As the Dauntless changed course, alarm signals sounded. 7 more ships detected, said Taehyun. Much bigger than the first ones. They're coming fast. Captain Kim sat in his command chair. His face was calm, but his mind raced with plans. Humanity survived on Earth by adapting to challenges, he told his crew. Now we must adapt to survive among the stars. This Concordat has never faced humans before. They don't know what we can do. He leaned forward. Minji, I need maximum power to engines. Hyunwoo, prepare all weapons. Yunjin, study everything we can learn about their technology. Jahye, keep listening for any communications we can intercept. The crew moved with new purpose. One last thing, said Kim. Send a tight beam message back toward Earth. They need to know what we've found out. Here. The message was simple. First contact made. Technological differences led to conflict. Earth must prepare. We will survive. As the giant alien ships closed in, the Dauntless raced toward the yellow star. 1 human ship against a galaxy. The odds were terrible, but humans had faced terrible odds before, and sometimes they won. The Dauntless hid in a thick dust cloud around the yellow star. The ship's engines were quiet. Only the most important systems were running. Captain Do-Yun Kim looked at the main screen. It showed 7 large Concordat warships searching for his ship. They were called the Hunter Division according to the messages the humans had intercepted. How long can we stay hidden? Kim asked. Chief Engineer Minji Kang frowned. Maybe 3 more days. Then we need to run the engines again or we lose life support. Kim nodded. 3 days was not much time, but it might be enough. Any progress understanding their technology? He asked Science Officer Yunjin. Yunjin's eyes were tired. She had not slept much. Yes, Captain. I have some ideas. Their ships use a different kind of physics than ours. Different physics? Asked Security Chief Taehyun. How is that possible? Not completely different, said Yunjin. But they focus on fields and waves. Our technology is based more on particles and quantum effects. That's why our weapons went through their shields. Their shields weren't designed to stop quantum pulses. Captain Kim tapped his fingers on the arm of his chair. Can we use that difference to our advantage? Maybe, said Yunjin. I need more time. A soft alarm sounded at the communication station. Lieutenant Ji Hye-song looked surprised. Captain, we're getting a message, but it's not from the Concordat ships. Who is it from? Asked Kim. I don't know, said Ji Hye, but they're using a very simple code, like they want to make sure we can understand them. Put it on screen, ordered Kim. The screen showed a face that wasn't human. It had purple skin and 4 eyes, arranged in a diamond pattern. When it spoke, its mouth moved in a strange way. Human ship. We are Najiri. We want to talk. Follow our signal. We help you hide. The bridge was silent. Then Taehyun spoke. It's a trap. The Concordat is trying to trick us. Maybe, said Kim. But maybe not. Ji Hye. What do we know about the Najiri? Ji Hye checked the ship's database. Nothing, sir. We've never heard of them. The signal is coming from inside the dust cloud, said Jiwoo Park from the sensor station. A small ship about 1/4 our size. Captain Kim made his decision. We'll follow them, but be ready to run or fight if needed. The Dauntless followed the small purple ship deeper into the dust cloud. Soon they came to a hidden base built inside a large asteroid. It was well hidden. The Concordate ships would never find it by accident. They're inviting us to dock, said Ji-hye. Do it, said Kim. But keep our shields ready. Taehyun, prepare a security team. We'll meet these Najiri face to face. The docking went smoothly. When the airlock opened, 5 Najiri stood waiting. They were shorter than humans with 4 arms as well as 4 eyes. They wore simple clothes with many pockets. Welcome, humans, said the leader. I am Lox. We have waited long. Time for others who fight Concordate. Captain Kim stepped forward. I am Captain Do-hyun Kim of Earth. We didn't come to fight. We came looking for new worlds to live on. Lox made a strange sound. It might have been a laugh. No one escapes Concordate. They control everything. They decide who lives, who dies, who can have what technology. Why do they hate our technology so much? Asked Kim. Come, said Lox. I show you. Lox led Kim and his team into the asteroid base. Inside was a workshop filled with strange crystal devices. Long ago, Najiri had great civilization, said Lox. We discovered crystal technology, different from metal technology that Concordate uses. They feared our way, tried to destroy us. Few escaped. We hide for 500 years. Minji looked at the crystal devices with great interest. These are computers? Machines? Yes, said Lox. Crystal holds energy in quantum state. Like your ship does. Minji's eyes widened. You've scanned our ship? Yes, said Lox. Your quantum technology is like our crystal technology. Different path from Concordate. That is why they fear you. Captain Kim began to understand. They don't want different kinds of technology to exist. They want to control all technology in the galaxy. Yes, said Lox. They fear what they cannot control. Yunjin was examining one of the crystal devices. This is amazing. I think our systems might be compatible with yours in some ways. Lox nodded. Yes, that is why we contacted you. Together maybe we can fight back. Captain Kim was cautious. We are just one ship. We can't fight a war against the entire Concordate. Not alone, said Lox. But you showed weakness in Concordate ships. First time in 1,000 years someone hurt their ships. News spreads in secret channels. Others who hate Concordate are listening. Kim looked at his officers. What do you think? We need allies, said Taehyun. And we need a place to hide and repair our ship. I want to study their crystal technology, said Yunjin. It might help us improve our systems. The Najiri seem to know the Concordate's weaknesses, added Ji-hye. Kim turned back to Lox. We accept your help, and we offer ours in return. For the next 2 weeks, humans and Najiri worked together. The Najiri shared maps of Concordate space. The humans shared Earth science. Minji and the Najiri engineers found ways to combine crystal technology with human quantum systems. Meanwhile, Weapons Officer Hyunwoo tested new ideas. If we add crystal focusing to our quantum pulses, he said, we can hit targets from much further away. On the 15th day, alarms sounded throughout the asteroid base. 3 Hunter Division ships found us, shouted a Najiri operator. Captain Kim ran to the control room. How did they find this place? Lox looked grim. They follow supply ship. Our mistake. We need to run, said Taehyun. No, said Kim. If we run, they'll destroy this base and all the Najiri. We need to fight. But there are 3 warships, protested Ji-hye. Yunjin stepped forward. Captain, I have an idea. The new crystal quantum system we installed might let us create ghost images of our ship on their sensors. Fake ships? Asked Kim. Yes, said Yunjin. They'll see 5 ships instead of 1. Will it work? Asked Kim. In theory, said Yunjin. We haven't tested it yet. No time like the present, said Kim with a small smile. Prepare the Dauntless for battle. All crew to stations. As the humans ran to their ship, Lox called out, "We fight with you. Najiri ships will join you." 20 minutes later, the Dauntless flew out of the asteroid, followed by 3 small Najiri fighters. The Concordat warships were closing fast. Activate the ghost image system, ordered Kim. Yunjin pressed several controls. System active. They should see 5 human ships now. On the Concordat vessels, confusion spread. Their sensors showed 5 large human ships where only 1 should be. The Hunter Division commander split his forces to deal with the multiple threats. They took the bait, said Jiwoo. They're separating. Now, shouted Kim. Full attack on the lead ship. Focus all weapons on their engine section. The Dauntless fired its improved quantum crystal weapons. The beams cut through space, more powerful than before. They hit the Concordat ship's engines. Explosions bloomed across its hull. Najiri fighters attacked the second ship, their small weapons enhanced with human quantum technology. They moved too fast for the bigger ship to target them. The third ship is turning to run, reported Jiwoo. Let it go, said Kim. Let it tell others what happened here. When the battle ended, 2 Concordat warships were floating dead in space. The Dauntless had taken damage, but nothing serious. Lox's voice came over the communication system. Humans fight well. Concordat not used to losing. Captain Kim looked at his tired but proud crew. This is just the beginning. The Concordat will send more ships, but now we know we can fight them, and we know we have allies. What's our next move, Captain? Asked Minji. Kim's eyes were determined. We find more allies. We learn more about the Concordat's weaknesses, and we show the galaxy that humans don't surrender easily. Hyunwoo smiled. 1 human ship against the galaxy. The odds are still against us. True, said Kim. But the odds are better than they were yesterday. The Dauntless turned away from the battlefield, heading deeper into space. The war had truly begun. News of the battle spread fast. The Concordat tried to keep it secret, but too many people had seen it. The story changed as it traveled from planet to planet. 1 human ship had defeated an entire fleet. Humans had magic weapons. Humans could make their ships disappear and reappear anywhere. Not all the stories were true, but they all shared one truth. For the first time in 1,000 years, someone had beaten the Concordat in battle. On the Dauntless, Captain Do-Hyun Kim called a meeting with his officers and Lox, the Najiri leader. The Concordat is sending their main battle fleet, said Lox. 20 big warships, they will be here in 10 days. We can't fight 20 warships, said Security Chief Tae-hyun. No, agreed Kim. But we don't need to fight them all. We need to show others in the galaxy that the Concordat can be beaten. How? Asked Lieutenant Jiwoo. Science Officer Yunjin had been quiet, thinking. Now she spoke. I've been studying the data from our battles. The Concordat's technology is very advanced, but it hasn't changed much in hundreds of years. They don't need to change, said Weapons Officer Hyunwoo. They're the strongest power in the galaxy. That's their weakness, said Yunjin. They stopped looking for new ideas. They just make their old technology a little better each year. Captain Kim understood. While on Earth, we had to try new ideas all the time. We had to adapt to survive. Exactly, said Yunjin. And we took a completely different path in our technology. We use quantum effects that they ignored, Minji, the chief engineer, added. And when we combine our quantum technology with Najiri crystal technology, we get results the Concordat has never seen before. Captain Kim looked at his crew. So our advantage isn't that we're stronger. It's that we're different. Yes, said Yunjin. And we can teach others to be different, too. Communications Officer Ji-hye had been listening to space transmissions. Captain, we're getting messages from other races. They want to meet with us. They want to learn about our technology. Kim looked at Lox. Is this a trick? Is the Concordat trying to trap us? Lox shook his head. Not trick. Many races hate Concordat control. They must use concordate technology. Not allowed to make their own. Now they see another way. Then we have a new mission, said Kim. We need to share our knowledge. For the next week, the Dauntless visited 3 different secret bases. At each one, representatives from different alien races came to meet them. Minji and Yunjin taught them about quantum technology. The aliens shared their own knowledge in return. The humans learned that the Concordate controlled technology by making everyone dependent on their systems. All ships, all communication networks, all weapons. Everything had to connect to the Concordate's central systems. So they can shut down any technology they don't like, said Taehyun. Yes, said a tall bird-like alien named Kraz. But your quantum systems don't need their networks. And that scares them, said Kim. On the 8th day, they received an urgent message from their Najiri friends. The Concordate had found the main Najiri base and was attacking it. We must help them, said Kim. But the main fleet will be there, said Hyunwoo. It's suicide. Not if we use what we've learned, said Kim. Yunjin, you said the Concordate systems are all connected, right? Yes, said Yunjin. All their ships linked to Central Command. What if we could break that link? Yunjin thought for a moment. We might be able to create a quantum field that disrupts their communication. They wouldn't be able to coordinate their attack. How close would we need to be? Asked Kim. Very close, said Yunjin, almost in the middle of their fleet. That's crazy, said Taehyun. Maybe, said Kim, but sometimes crazy works. 2 days later, the Dauntless arrived near the Najiri base. The Concordate fleet was there, 20 massive warships surrounding the small planet. They were firing weapons at the surface. The Najiri shields are failing, reported Jiwoo. Get us in position, ordered Kim, right in the middle of their fleet. They'll destroy us before we can activate the quantum field, said Hyunwoo. That's why we're not going in alone, said Kim. As if on cue, ships began appearing around them. Small fighters from different races. 5, then 10, then 20. None was as big as the Dauntless, but together, they formed a small fleet. All ships reporting ready, Captain, said Jihye. Kim took a deep breath. Begin the attack. Tell our allies to focus on drawing the Concordate's attention. We need to get to the center of their formation. The battle began. The small allied ships darted between the huge Concordate warships, firing quick hits, and then running. They couldn't do much damage, but they caused confusion. The Dauntless pushed forward, taking heavy fire. Shields at 60%, reported Minji. Keep going, said Kim. Their ship fired back using the new crystal quantum weapons. Each hit caused major damage to the Concordate ships. They're focusing all fire on us now, said Taehyun. Shields at 40%, said Minji. We can't take much more. We're almost in position, said Yunjin, just a little closer. The Dauntless shook as another hit struck them. Shields at 25%, said Minji. Hull damage on decks 3 and 4. We're in position, said Yunjin. Activate the quantum field, ordered Kim. Yunjin pressed several controls. A strange blue light spread from the Dauntless, growing into a large bubble that surrounded several Concordate ships. On those ships, systems began to fail. Lights went out. Weapons stopped firing. It's working, said Yunjin. Their communication with Central Command is cut off. Now Phase 2, said Kim. Send the message to all Concordate ships. Jihye activated a special transmission that Yunjin had prepared. It went to every screen on every Concordate ship. Your leaders have lied to you. They keep technology for themselves. Join us and be free. Shields at 15%, warned Minji. We can't hold the quantum field much longer. But something strange was happening. 3 Concordate ships had stopped firing at the Dauntless. Then 5 more stopped. We're getting transmissions from Concordate ships, said Jihye, surprised. They want to talk. The quantum field had done more than cut communication. It had also blocked the secret control signals that the Concordate used to ensure loyalty from Miui, their crews. The crews are choosing sides, said Taehyun. Some are rebelling against their commanders. In the confusion, the Dauntless extended its quantum field further, covering more Concordat ships. Soon half the fleet had stopped fighting. The Concordat admiral, seeing his fleet falling apart, ordered a retreat. The remaining loyal ships turned and jumped away into hyperspace. "We did it," said Hyunwoo. "We beat them." "Not just us," said Kim, looking at the screen showing their small allied fleet. "All of us together." In the days that followed, more ships and planets declared themselves free of Concordat rule. The human quantum technology spread quickly. The Najiri shared their crystal technology. Other races added their own ideas. "The Concordat will come back with a bigger fleet," warned Taehyun. "Yes," said Kim. "But we'll be ready, and we'll be stronger." On the bridge of the Dauntless, Captain Kim looked at the stars. They were still strange to him. But now they held hope, not just danger. "One human ship started this war," he said quietly. "But it will take all of us to win it." The Dauntless had come looking for a new home for humanity. Instead, it had found a galaxy ready for change. And humans, with their strange, different ways of thinking, were the perfect ones to lead that change. The war had only just begun. But for the first time, freedom seemed possible. 3 months had passed since the battle at the Najiri homeworld. The war had spread across the galaxy. The Concordat still had the biggest fleet and controlled the most planets. But every day, more ships and worlds joined what people now called the Human Alliance. The Dauntless was no longer alone. 5 other ships now flew with it. They weren't from Earth. They were built by other races using human quantum technology combined with their own ideas. Captain Do-Hyun Kim stood on the bridge of the Dauntless, looking at a map of the galaxy. Red areas showed Concordat control. Blue showed Alliance territory. There was more red than blue, but the blue areas were growing. "Captain, we're getting the signal," said Communications Officer Ji-hye. "The Council is ready for our report." The Alliance Council had members from 12 different species. They met in secret, planning the war against the Concordat. Captain Kim was the human representative. "Put them on screen," said Kim. The large screen showed aliens of different shapes and colors. Some had many eyes, some had scales or feathers, but all looked to Kim with respect. "Captain Kim," said the Najiri counselor, "what news from the front lines?" "The Concordat is pulling back from the outer systems," reported Kim. "They're focusing on defending their core worlds." "They are afraid," said a tall blue alien named Vex. "For the first time in 1,000 years, they know fear." Science Officer Yoonjin moved to stand beside Captain Kim. "We've made progress understanding Concordat technology. There's something strange about it." "Strange how?" asked a small furry counselor. "All their systems are connected to central control," said Yoonjin. "But it's more than just communications. It's like their technology can't work without that connection." "That's why they fear our independent systems," said Kim. "But there's more to it. Yoonjin, tell them what you found." Yoonjin took a deep breath. "We captured a damaged Concordat ship last week. Inside, we found something unexpected. The ship's captain wasn't just connected to the central system. He was partly machine." The council members looked shocked. "The Concordat leaders have been replacing parts of themselves with technology for centuries," Yoonjin continued. "They're not fully organic anymore." "That's how they've ruled for so long," said Kim. "The same leaders living for hundreds of years by replacing their failing body parts with machines. Is that why they control all technology so strictly?" asked Vex. "So no one can develop systems that might threaten their immortality?" "We think so," said Kim, "and we believe they're hiding a bigger secret." The meeting continued for another hour. Plans were made. The Alliance would strike at a key Concordat communication hub, trying to disrupt their control over a whole section of the galaxy. After the meeting, Kim gathered his crew. "It's time for our most dangerous mission yet," he said. "We're going to the Concordat capital world." "The capital?" Taehyun looked shocked. "That's suicide, Captain." "Not if we don't get caught," said Kim. "Yoonjin has found a way to mask our quantum signature. They won't see us coming." "What's the mission?" asked Hyunwoo. "Information," said Kim. The Concordat has been ruling for thousands of years. They've erased the true history of the galaxy. We need to find that history and share it with everyone. The journey took 2 weeks. The Dauntless traveled in short jumps, hiding between each one. Finally, they reached the edge of the Concordat, capital system. "Activating quantum mask now," said Yunjin. The ship seemed to disappear from all sensors. It was still visible to the eye, but the Concordat's detection systems couldn't see it. "Take us in, slow and careful," ordered Kim. The Dauntless moved through the outer defenses without being detected. They saw hundreds of Concordat ships, but none noticed them. "This is working better than I hoped," said Yunjin. "Don't get too confident," warned Kim. "We still need to get the information and get out." When they reached the capital planet, Yunjin scanned for the central data hub. It was in a huge tower in the main city. "I can connect to their systems from here," said Yunjin. "But I'll need time to download their historical records." "How long?" asked Kim. "At least 30 minutes. "That's a long time to stay undetected," said Taehyun. "We don't have a choice," said Kim. "Begin the download." For 20 minutes, everything went well. The Dauntless hovered above the city, invisible to Concordat sensors. Yunjin downloaded huge amounts of data. Then something went wrong. "Captain, they've detected an energy spike from our ship," said Jiwoo. "They don't know what we are yet, but they know something's here." "How much longer, Yunjin?" asked Kim. 10 more minutes for the complete download." "We may not have 10 minutes, said Taehyun. "Look." Concordat defense ships were rising from the planet's surface. They were searching the area where the Dauntless was hiding. 5 more minutes, said Yunjin. "The most important files are coming through now." A Concordat ship passed very close to them. For a moment it seemed like they had been seen, but the ship moved on. "Download complete," said Yunjin finally. "Get us out of here," ordered Kim. The Dauntless turned and accelerated away from the planet. But suddenly alarm sounded. "They've locked onto us," shouted Jiwoo. "Quantum mask is failing." "Maximum speed," said Kim. "Head for the jump point." The Concordat ships gave chase. The Dauntless was fast, but there were too many enemies. "Shields at 70%, reported Minji as the first hit struck them. "We need to make it to these coordinates," said Yunjin, sending numbers to the navigation system. "We have friends waiting." The Dauntless raced through space, taking hits but dealing damage too. Then, just as they reached the coordinates Yunjin had given, something amazing happened. Space seemed to tear open. A glowing portal appeared. "What is that?" asked Taehyun. "A quantum fold," said Yunjin. "The Najiri helped me develop it. It's a shortcut through space. Take us through," ordered Kim. The Dauntless flew into the portal. Behind them, Concordat ships tried to follow, but the portal closed too quickly. They emerged in Alliance territory, near a space station built from an asteroid. They were safe. "Dear, we get what we needed?" Kim asked Yunjin. "Yes," she said, her eyes wide with surprise. "And more. The Concordat has been lying about everything. The races they said they protected, they conquered them. The technology they control, stolen from those same races thousands of years ago." "Can we prove it?" asked Kim. "Yes. The records are clear. And there's more." Yunjin looked at her captain. "The Concordat leaders aren't just part machine. They're the same individuals who took power 3,000 years ago. They've been transferring their minds to new bodies." "Mind transfer," said Kim. "That's how they've stayed in power so long. And now we can tell everyone," said Jihi. 2 days later, the Dauntless broadcast the truth to the entire galaxy. The Concordat tried to block the transmission, but Yunjin had found ways around their controls. Across thousands of worlds, people learned the truth. The rebellion spread faster than ever before. Concordat ships deserted. Whole planets declared independence. 1 month later, the Alliance fleet approached the Concordat capital. They expected a fierce battle. Instead, they found the Concordat leaders had fled. Their grand empire was falling apart. On the bridge of the Dauntless, Captain Kim looked at his crew. They were tired but proud. "When we left Earth, he said. We're looking for a new home. We didn't expect to free a galaxy. What happens now? Asked Minji. We help build something better, said Kim. A galaxy where different races and different technologies can exist together, where no one controls everyone else. And then? Asked Ji-hee. Do we go back to Earth? Kim smiled. Someday. But first we have a message to send. Earth needs to know that humans have friends among the stars now. As the Dauntless sent its message home, Kim thought about their journey. One human ship had appeared in concordate space. One ship had started a war. One ship had helped free a galaxy. And now thousands of ships from dozens of worlds flew together under the banner of the Alliance, all because humans had refused to surrender.